Alrighty, so what you just saw was Simon and Virgil gameplay. I actually have some of that gameplay put together, and what you are currently watching is me trying and somewhat failing to build logic. By the end, I actually get it down. The logic is going to be for a death animation, well, the logical part of the death. So once the player hits a certain speed, they will always die at that speed, unless for some reason there's an intervention, but for the most part, they hit the speed of -19, it triggers a counter, and that will go in and make sure that when they hit the ground, that eliminates the player character controls. So once I got all of that logic down, I went ahead and decided to build something else. I kind of wanted to let the player character know, okay, you kind of took a stumble, don't fall too hard or you will die. So I went ahead and lowered another sensor and made the speed less, and that way it will trigger an animation. So when you fall from a height that will almost kill you or is pretty high up, it will trigger a stumbling animation. Alright, so here we actually get to see the stumbling animation in action, and there it was. Next up, we're going to show you the death logic, not so much the actual animation. I haven't coded, quote-unquote, coded that into the game yet, but I have some ideas based off the Little Big Planet gameplay I've done in the past. But for now, I'm just having a blank profile, and I have it so he just has this kind of stumbling thing that slows him down. While Simon is faster, Virgil is a bit more experienced, so Simon's going to be stumbling for a while anyways. This is actually just kind of proof of concept stuff for the early demonstration of Sons of Callaway in Little Big Planet. We have the falling animation here, he hits the ground, he dies, and that was just some of the logic I dealt with a lot in Little Big Planet. I kind of brought that on over, applied it to these two playable characters. And one of the things I have going on is with the story, you switch off between Simon and Virgil, so I had to make them distinctively different. So in the Little Big Planet gameplay, Virgil was pretty fast. However, in Dreams, it's totally new. I have to tweak and change certain things. So for example, Virgil is stronger, taller, but he's also heavier. He can lift boxes, he can climb up the sides of buildings, and he's a bit more experienced, as I previously listed. So for example, later down the line, while he still stumbles, the player character will be able to press circle while using him and do a roll. And that's just something you kind of learn, and then that can be passed down to Simon in a story tidbit. I just kind of want to build that bond between the two brothers as much as I can. Going back to Simon though, I will say while Virgil can climb things, Simon is way faster, as you saw in the previous gameplay. Not to mention he can use the planks and just kind of skitter around and do a few other things that Virgil cannot. Not to mention some of the different story beats the two brothers have. And there was that stumbling animation I was talking about earlier. I went ahead and changed the layout of this level a little bit as well, not to mention some of the lighting, and I just kind of wanted to give it that nice feel. But I'm going to go ahead and be ending this video, and for next week I hope to have some more sculpts in. Unfortunately, I lost the original sculpt for Virgil, or excuse me, for Simon. I get the brothers confused all the time, it's kind of funny. But I hope I can go ahead and sculpt some of those assets in, and that's what I hope to be showing next week. In the meantime, here is some of the early alpha gameplay that I made in Little Big Planet for the Sons of Callaway, and that I'm pulling kind of off of for inspiration. Alright, till next time.
Yeah.